Hey there, we're going to take a look at the potential of using gradients in your Foleon docs. The gradient feature is a tool we can use to add depth and vibrancy to your Foleon docs with just a few clicks. Today you will learn what gradients actually are, examples of how to captivate your audience using gradients in different ways, and how the gradients work within Foleon. After this lesson, you will know how to elevate your designs with these colorful additions. Let's start by looking at what they actually are. Gradients are smooth transitions between two or more colors. They add depth and visual interest to design elements like backgrounds, images, and text. At the time of creating this lesson, Foleon has two gradient formats, linear and radial. Both have their own way of making your docs look better. Now, let's look at how we can use these within Foleon. You can find and use this feature within both the Content Studio and the Content Builder. As you can see in this Foleon doc, this page already looks pretty good. Using the gradient feature, we can make it look even more visually interesting. At the time of creating this lesson, in Foleon, you can apply a gradient to a block background, column background, and a button background. Looking at this header block, we can apply a gradient to make the text stand out from the background and make the block visually even stronger. Simply add a colored overlay to the image and switch our color to be a gradient. Here we can pick the colors we want to use, the transparency of each color, and the angle we want the linear gradient to go in. Here we can play around until we get the desired look. With just a few clicks, we have improved the readability of the text and made this header look more eye-catching. Adding gradients to your docs has a lot of benefits. It can create visual appeal and engagement, emphasize a piece of content, or to show direction and improve the readability over a longer piece of content. Let's look at this quote for example. We want the reader's attention to be directed to the quote itself, so let's use gradients to do this. We can simply switch from linear to a radial gradient. This highlights a distinct spot to help naturally guide the eye. This makes the quote stand out more and gives you a chance to add an extra bit of color. Now there are a lot of different purposes you might have to create a document, and the purpose and audience might affect your decision making. If you want to give your document a younger look, you have more freedom to experiment with gradients and maybe even combine them. If you want to go for something more traditional or minimalistic, you can be a bit more subtle with gradients to keep a clean yet engaging look. Going the more subtle route, you can add that extra pop of color using buttons. Simply apply a gradient to the background of your button and play around till you get the desired look. If you have a gradient that you really like and want to use more in docs, make sure to add this to your brand kit. To easily apply the gradients throughout your docs with a single click. And there you have it. Remember that Foleon's gradients feature is a great way to make your docs more engaging. Experiment, but most importantly, have fun. Good luck and thanks for watching.